Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about there is no superhero fatigue. I wish people would stop saying that. I wish they would stop using that as a crutch. Now, people keep saying there's superhero fatigue because Marvel Disney has pushed out way too much content and like it's just overflowing and we're just tired of it. No, you're not tired of that. You're tired of it sucking. And then you're all like, oh, there's so much DC fatigue because they just can't get a win. Yeah, that's true. They can't get a win, but that's not why you have fatigue. And it's like there's nothing but superhero content out right now, and it's one after another. And the thing is, you wouldn't be complaining if it was actually good. See, the whole fatigue thing is just an excuse people want to use because, it's just an excuse they want to use because they're not happy with the product that they're watching and stuff. But it's not fatigue that is setting in. And because I get it. Like sometimes you eat the same thing and you're so tired of that. And why are you so tired of that? Because the taste in your mouth has become bland. It has become accustomed to it. That is what's going on with superhero content. It's been feed into your eyes and your ears so much, and it's become stale. One way that it won't be stale no more if these writers, producers could actually come up with something good. Like, not necessarily good, but something more entertaining. Because it's like, the writers right now, like take Marvel Disney. Marvel Disney is in a mess right now because they rely the whole fix it and post method. They get a bunch of writers who aren't familiar with superhero content or the comic books. They get a bunch of producers who's not familiar with like action and drama and suspense, and they bringing in all these comedic people, comedic like actors, comedic writers, comedic directors, comedic showrunners, because they have went the comedic route. And it's quite a shame. And it used to be serious, but now it's comedic. And it's like, take the Marvels that just came out, which I have not seen yet. It is bombing in the box office, and I knew it would because of a couple of reasons. Because one, toxic male hate. Two, people still got that hit piece on, like, Brie Larson and everything. Three, the moment that director said that, it's going to be wacky and silly, I knew for a fact it was going to bomb. Because Marvel is stuck on this whole, oh, you like comedy, well, let's give you more. And a lot of people want to blame Thor Love and Thunder for the cause of all this. But no, it was actually a movie before it that caused all this like corniness in Marvel. It's the movie you love, but you don't want to admit that it's the root of all problems in Marvel. And that's Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, I said it. It's the movie you love, but it's the movie you would never admit to like ruining Marvel Disney. What happened? Marvel has always had humor in the beginning, but it was always tamed and it was always smart. But then Taika Waititi came in, and the first two Thor movies people did not like, so they asked him to change things up. And with Marvel going down this comedic route after James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxies, which was still tame, but it was still a little silly, but it wasn't wacky. In comes Thor Ragnarok, and it was wacky and silly like never before. And you all clapped your hands, all like, funny, 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 funny. And then what happened after that? Marvel's all like, hey, all these people are talking about how much they love it, how different it was, and this is how Marvel needs to be, so let's do more of it. So he did Thor Love and Thunder, and it just. And the rest is history. That was the catalyst for all this crap. And then they've been going down one silly route after another. After realizing their mistake, they tried to get serious. Problem is, they went too dry serious with Secret Invasion. And so it's like, if these people could create better stuff, then people would not have fatigue. Because one of the problems isn't diversity, is cultural shoving it down your throat stuff. I'm okay with them throwing in a little cultural stuff here and there. But when it's the entire, like, say, television series or like the focus of like a movie or something like that, then it becomes a little bit too much. Like I've said this before, every Disney Plus television show is a cultural I don't know, like a cultural, I don't know, like a cultural reference first, and then a superhero show later. Moon Knight was about mental illness. Miss Marvel was about the Muslim culture. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was about like ethnic groups, like just like being at the bottom of like the higher patriarchy of like white like male dominance and all this other crap. Will they accept the black Captain America? They let you know, hey, we don't. Are they gonna help these foreign countries that liked it better when half the population was gone? No, they're not. And everything, they want to get back to the norm. And so it was always one political message after like another. And She-Hulk was all about being a woman and a feminist and stuff. But the problem is, it's okay to have that. It is, because you need to see stuff like in the everyday world and affecting like how we live our lives and stuff like that. But it would have been nice if it was just sprinkled, either sprinkled in every episode, or one episode that focus on it, or maybe one or two episodes that focus on it, and then get back to the superhero stuff. And that's the problem. It was like the cultural stuff first and the superhero stuff second. And that became a problem. So it started to suck. And then so when one thing started to suck after another, then people's all like, oh, we have fatigue and everything. And it's not fatigue. It's like these people need to do better when creating stuff. Because think about it like this. I like to think about this like CIS and Chicago. There are like a million CIS shows, one after another, spinning off one after another. They're spanning within a couple of years, but there's always a CSI show every decade since the show been created. And I don't hear people saying, oh, we have fatigue of this. No, the reason why you don't have fatigue of this is because those shows do pretty well and everything. And so that's why they pump out more. Then there is Chicago. There are spin-offs like never before when it comes to that show, and every spin-off does very well. Do you hear people saying, oh, we have fatigue of this? No, because it does very well and everything. And so if all these comic book stuff would do very well, people would stop complaining. And with the whole fatigue thing, I mean, come on now. I mean, the MCU's been going on for 10 years and they used the same exact formula. Now they just infused it with a whole lot of humor. So that's gonna get on people's nerves after a while. If they would have been smart about this and did some better writing and direction and this and that, then it wouldn't get stale in people's mouths and they wouldn't get irritated with it. And then they wouldn't be using the whole, oh, it's just fatigue and everything. And sadly, that's just what it is now. And it's not fatigue. It's just, it sucks. It's stale in your mouth because they're using the same gags, the same formula over and over. The third act is a big blowout CGI fest. When there was some director that tried to change that, and they had to reshoot the entire ending because it wasn't a slugfest full of CGI and stuff. And it's just like that is what they're reliant on now. Because they're not being smart. And of course, Kevin Feige is stretched too thin because, what was that? The second Avengers movie? Miss Marvel was supposed to show up. Not Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was supposed to show up in that movie out of nowhere. She hasn't even been built up. Never been seen before. And Kevin Feige told Josh Whedon, we ain't having this crap. And, like originally Ant-Man and Wasp was supposed to be in the first Avengers movie. And Josh was going to have them in that. But Kevin was like, man, they ain't been brought in yet. People don't even know who they are. Then, in the first Black Panther movie, Patriot was supposed to show up towards the end. He was supposed to be somewhere in Wakanda. And, for whatever reason, he was going to be just thrown in the mix. Nobody knows who Patriot is at that time. He didn't show up until Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now he's gonna be in Young Avengers. And Kevin Feige like, no, we ain't gonna have him in that because nobody knows who he is yet. And so like, they could get away with it with like Nick Fury in like, the Iron Man movie because that was supposed to set things up. But just throwing in random superheroes is not setting nothing up. Alrighty, well I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.